Or maybe Bill Clinton was right. He used that famous line, "That dog don't hunt." When it comes to Democrats continually talking about Russia and a connection to the Trump campaign and their own election loss, signs right now the Democrats are reassessing after all of these special elections since the general election, that maybe it is time to rethink that strategy. Former CIA analyst Red Fleitz, Democratic strategist Andrew Feldman, former Republican Congresswoman Nan Hayworth of the fine state of New York. Congresswoman, to you first on this. We're told, not across the board, that some Democrats are concerned they went too far, or that this issue isn't registering or resonating. What do you think?
Well, it's not registering, Neil, and the reason is primarily because the Democrats, decades and certainly, 8 years before the 2016 election, their policies have failed the American people. They've placed enormous burdens on us. People have lost jobs. They've lost livelihoods. Their cost of living has skyrocketed, their health care. So to try to get them somehow to imagine that President Trump had something to do with Russia and sabotaged the election or tried to obstruct an investigation when no one has come up with anything to verify that or validate that. And Democratic officials from past administrations who are not friends of the president, and James Comey himself said, look, we don't have anything, there's no proof. No wonder the Democrats are, those who are in districts where their constituents are actually interested in solutions are saying, hey, you know what? Let's get off the topic of Russia. They're right, but they have to get on the topic of how they help the president pass an agenda that will work for the American people.
Andrew, what do you think of that? That maybe they're beating a dead horse, go on to other issues that this, that might work better for them. What do you think?
Look, Neil, I don't think this is a one-size-fits-all approach, right? On Russia, I think we should let the Trump administration dig their own grave, because that's what's happening. There's a special prosecutor who's widely respected, who is really looking into this, and at the end of the day, whether it takes a year, 2 years, however many years, we're going to find out the truth.
So no one say anything in the meantime,
I think
Republicans or Democrats?
No, I'm not saying no one should say anything, right? But we need to focus, Democrats need to focus on the issues, because unlike the Congresswoman just said, we do help real people. We do help real lives.
Well, I think that's what she's saying, then get to those issues rather than this one.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Okay,
I think that we should talk about the real issues that matter, about how we really make sure premiums go down for people who have health care, how we don't take people off their insurance who have it, how we make sure they get higher wages, and we don't
give
tax prices to wealthy.
Don't talk about hundreds of thousands of people dying as a result of this. That's a whole other can of worms, right?
That's another can of worms, sure, Neil, but the reality is, though, our policies represent the values
All right. Well, we can debate that. But, Fred, what do you make of the fact that obviously it's in Republicans' interest to say, all right, let this Russia thing go. But, I mean, on security issues, wouldn't it be important for Republicans to let go of it, or the president no longer to tweet about it or comment on it, and just let whatever's going on with these investigations go on and move on to these other issues? What do you think?
Well, Neil, I think you're right. I think it would be better for the Republicans to move on, too. But it's interesting. I think all three guests here agree that the Democrats need to focus on other things. And the reason is the American people, they don't think there's anything to the collusion story or the idea that Russia affected the outcome of the election. There's no evidence of that. But I think Democrats are concerned that these investigations are moving into dangerous areas they'd rather not talk about, such as Barack Obama being informed of possible efforts by the Russians to affect the election, but he did nothing about it.
In other words, be careful what you wish for. You might get both sides caught up in something they don't want.
And also the Attorney General, who apparently obstructed investigations of Hillary Clinton. And frankly, if that hadn't happened, she may not have been on the ballot. These things are being dredged up because the Democrats are insisting on these Russia investigations.
That is not what I'm saying at all, Neil. I just want to make clear.
Okay, I thought it was, but no, I'm kidding. Okay. Guys, thank you very much. With all this breaking news, I do appreciate you taking the time.